up, my brother? Thank you, man. Look at the shoes, ladies and gentlemen. It's only right. It's only right.
Torae in the building.
What up, L'Oreal?
I love Torae.
Me and L'Oreal got a group EP coming called Torae. Make sure y'all get it off that. I appreciate it. Shout out to the homie Jalil Beach. You know he did the Bobby Smurda shit, of course, a bunch of Meek Mill records and Rose records. So, you know, that's the homie from Philly. And when I needed one, he came through for me. So,
Did you say, yo, give me some of that shit you gave Bobby Smurda?
I would never do anything like that. That's ridiculous. Bobby had his own record. He had his own wave. I want to say I did that record before Hot Nigga really took off. Yeah. I think I did it before that. But you know, you just want to ride your own wave. You want to do your own thing. Of course, I always look to work with the dopest, hottest, up and coming producers. But it's never like, yo, give me something like you gave Rose, give me something like you gave Meek. We'll get in the studio. We're Polly. Obviously, he knew, my catalog, so he know what he want to give me. He make, when producers do beats, they hit certain artists on the beats anyway. You know what I'm saying? So one more time, shout out to the homie Jalil Beats. And like you said, I've worked with every producer that you could think of. You know what I'm saying? Like from Pete Rock to Premier to Ninth to Marco to Diamond D to I don't want to leave nobody out to Notch. It's crazy. So I'm always just looking for something new and dope energy that continues on the tradition that I came up with and started, but definitely always looking to push it and take it forward.
So what made you decide, because you're a dope ass MC, what made you decide to go over and cross over and start doing radio? And do you feel like it's a problem, like people kind of look at you more so as, okay, well he's a radio personality and not really an MC? Or do you feel like it ever gets they get you fucked up? You get what I'm saying?
Because I just celebrated 10 years, right? I dropped my first single 10 years ago. I'm about to start teaching classes because I really want to show up-and-coming artists, like, there's way too many platforms and opportunities out here for you to be standing outside somebody building, begging for anything. You know what I'm saying? Fuck a deal, fuck a video, fuck a shit. Like, do your own thing, dog, and get your money between YouTube and Spotify and all these different ways that you can monetize your shit. You can win. I never sold a million records, but we in them tens of thousands, and when you getting $7, $8 on a record or 80 cents on a download, that shit add up. But to answer your question, where I felt like industry-wise and music-wise on the underground scene, I kind of felt like I was starting to plateau and hit that ceiling. And it was like, well, what do you do to cross over and break through that ceiling? How do you get, more interest and more people? And I felt like radio was just a dope way. I guess I could ask you the same question, L'Oreal, but I just felt like it was a dope way for me to meet different people and opportunity for me to use SiriusXM's platform to push my agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like, I treat SiriusXM like the label. They got 90,000, like 90 million subscribers and some shit like that. So as long as I can get a percentage of that, we good.
That's good.
You feel me?
What about you playing your own records on there?
I don't go crazy, but if you got a record that fits the format, it's just like any other record or any other artist. You know what I'm saying? If it's dope, if it's quality, and it fits the format, then you'll find it in the rotation.
Word.
Let me unzip my jacket. L'Oreal got me sweating and shit.
I see that bead of sweat.
You see it? I know they got the good cameras and shit. They might get me sweating and shit.
But you said also, my name is Antoinette.
How you doing?
Good. You said you do acting.
Yeah.
You MC. You're a host.
Right.
You're all these great things. Or you created all these opportunities for yourself.
For sure.
But what would you like to be well known for the most? What would you say?
I would like to be well known for putting people on and giving people opportunities, because I feel like your success is measured by how you help other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, was I able to move out the projects and buy a nice car and buy a whole bunch of stupid shit for my kids? Yeah, that's cool, that's dope. Like, initially you feel like that's what the goal is, and then when you meet those goals, you're like, well, damn, what's my mark gonna be? Just some dude who was on TV or some dude who made songs that was on the radio? Or is it gonna be like, yo, I remember Torae gave out, hundreds of book bags in Coney Island, and I ain't even had no school supplies that year, but it was because of him I felt able to go to school, and I was able to, and I became the CEO of this. Like, that's really what I want my legacy. Outside of my kids doing amazing things. I just really want to be a real prominent figure, and I really want to do some things that, you know, leave a mark in the world outside of just some songs on iTunes. Appreciate it.
Yo, we from Coney Island, right?
Coney Island was you know how I know you from Coney Island?
Yeah.
You was drinking Hennessy out the bottle with a straw. I saw that shit.
That's right, you know. Coney Island bitches don't want to motherfucking mess up their lipstick, so we drink with the straw.
Shout out.
Starting that wave though, you know you got.
L'Oreal, we gotta keep secrets, L'Oreal. Stop.
Okay, my fault.
What junior high school you went to?
I went to Ceflo.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I went to Ceflo. My mother was trying to keep me grounded, but kind of keep me out the hood at the same time.
Nice.
But we used to run into, because that was in Bensonhurst, and back then, you know what I'm saying, like, you was getting chased by the Bay Parkway boys, and like,
all
it was all
Italians
all them Italians and shit. They wasn't fucking with the moolies in their neighborhood. Shit was crazy.
That's a bad word right
That's what they was calling us when we was running.
Something very admirable.
vegan, so you change your whole life.
Yo, L'Oreal, stop.
Something very
I am a
admirable
vegan
about
now.
you. You started a Kickstarter last year that raised over $10,000 in a month
Yeah, that was
for your
dope.
self-titled album for Entitled.
Yeah, for my last album.
What made you want to do that? Because it was you bringing in a lot of your fans for that support.
For sure. For me, it was like, I had been putting out records, like I said, for a number of years. And, you know, it wasn't so much about the money. It was like, well, what can I do to engage the audience that I haven't done before? What can I do to make people feel like they're a part of the project? To really bring them in, because all I have is my supporters. And I don't say fans, but the people who support the music, who come to the shows, who buy the product, who buy the merchandise. Those are the people who enable me to live the life that I live, right? And I want them to feel as much as part of the project as I do, because without them, it's no me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of artists lose sight of that. You talk down on people and you talk shit on records and you talk about how much money you got in bottles, and you kind of like talking down to the same people who brought you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a big issue with what Wayne said about, you know, not being black. I'm a young rich motherfucker. Like, how you got rich, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, all them people in New Orleans who was with you from the beginning, who felt like you represented them, you kind of shit on them. So for me, it was always like, how do I bring people in? I'm never trying to shun people. I'm always trying to bring people closer. And Kickstarter was dope. I really needed to get talked into it, because at the end of the day, you do have this vanity about yourself, and it's like, I don't want nobody to think I don't got the bread to put it out. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was like, once I started to get the people involved, and when we started to fulfill some of the rewards, I got a chance to meet people from all over the country, and I went to people's crib and like just did all types of super dope shit, and made some friendships and made some bonds with people that I probably wouldn't have had that type of interaction with, you know. So big shout out to everybody who supported the Kickstarter. It was fun. I don't think I would ever do it again, but you know, it was definitely a fun thing to do.
Do you feel any pressure, like, as far as your music coming out? You come from Brooklyn, you know, you come from the land of Biggie, Fabulous, Jay-Z.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Your album coming out?
It's like an unwritten rule. Like, you just got to get busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I come from an era like where you really spit bars. Like, every line had to mean something. You couldn't take a bar off. So, you know, I mean, the kids doing their own thing and they got their own wave and that's their thing. But for me, being from Brooklyn, especially from Coney Island, because Coney Island was kind of like the stepson of Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying, to a degree. Like, they wasn't acting like we was part of that until they tried to come to the rides and they got jacked. But you know what I'm saying? You know, being from Coney Island, you have that extra chip on your shoulder, you know. But definitely being from Brooklyn, it's a legacy of MCs that, you know, some of the best in the game from the borough. So, you know, for me, it's always about pushing your pen further than anybody else.
Right over here to the party side.
I'm from.
Read that shit out.
Okay,
She got notes.
How do you deal with the temptations in the industry with the females, because you're married, correct?
Facts.
So how do you deal with the temptations and the ladies, and I'm sure a couple bitches want to give you some pussy.
Just stay away from the effing, that's for sure. No. Word. Nah, only L'Oreal and Angela get me to drink Hennessy, and that's because they're my friends, so when we hang out, we'll do that. But it is, that's why I could drink it. But for the most part, you know, like, this shit is a business, it's an industry, but at the end of the day, if I stop making songs or I stop being on TV or the radio, how many of those same people would be in my DMs or call? They'd just be on to the next thing. You know, and for me, it's about, like, what's real? Like, who knew me in junior high school? Who saw me working at McDonald's? Who saw me packing bags? Like, who was really there? I had a little stint. I did a little stint. I'm not one of them cool rappers who never had a job, nigga. I worked.
Right.
But
Wait, the register.
No, I was in the back. I was the one. Yeah, I was on the burgers bringing them.
They wouldn't let me work in the kitchen. They had me like, you know what I'm saying?
It was like, wherever the people are, keep Jack away from the people.
I thought I was retarded because of my eye.
Well, now look. You go through and spend $100 in the drive-thru.
Hey, you McDonald's, let's get it.
All on that dollar menu, Jack Thriller.
Yo, Torae. Eat Torae.
You're stupid.
Different lines of work, radio, making music is important to maintain longevity.
I was always one that knew how to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never, like, I worked at McDonald's, but I just worked amongst a bunch of my friends. And, you know, that was money to go to Renton, you know what I'm saying, to buy, like, Hilfiger gear. Like, I've always been an optimistic guy, so it's always, like, glass half full. So no matter what I've ever done, I've always enjoyed it and had fun in it. And it prepared you for life. You know, it prepares you for life. If you never worked with anybody, if you never had to, you know, work under somebody, or you had to, you know, be given instruction, or you never had to be somewhere on time, or you never had no type of structure in your life, you're going to be a disorganized, chaotic person.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm able to juggle so many things, from radio to recording to running my own business. I got 2 kids. I work at a distribution company.
Let's go.
I work for a publishing company. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Like, I do all of that. I did a joint venture with a publishing. I'm on the breaks. I did the pilot episode for the breaks, and then I worked all season behind the scenes with Tiana Taylor for the season that's coming in February. So make sure y'all watch that on VH1. But if it wasn't for the foundation and the structure that I had, I probably wouldn't be able to juggle all those things. You know what I'm saying?
Could I say your wife is a big part of that?
Oh, for sure. You gotta find you, like, in this business, I always tell people, find you a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe it might have been K Slade or Superstar J. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody don't gotta be on the mic. Find you a dope publicist, find you a cameraman, find you somebody to write your press releases and things like that. So, you know, it takes a strong person to be with somebody in business, especially in those first early years where, you know, it was just like me trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that shit was quiet. It was quiet out there. You know what I'm saying? But when it started to pop, it makes sense. You know, she understood it and she saw the vision from day one. So, you know, yeah,
Shout out to
definitely.
White.
Y'all wrapping me up? Thank you for having me. One time for Jack. Shout out to the whole party in Brooklyn, L'Oreal. Thank you guys. This is amazing, man. I look forward to doing this. Torae. I look forward to doing this again, man. Peace and love, y'all.
That's all we wanna do is